No charges after the death of Marcus Deon Smith. That is the decision after the Guilford County District Attorney's Office says it found no evidence of a criminal act.
Smith died in Greensboro police custody after he was restrained by 4 officers back in September. A new letter from the DA to Police Chief Wayne Scott says those officers shouldn't be charged.
WFMY News 2's Erica Stapleton is breaking down the decision and how the DA reached that conclusion.
The DA's letter says it clearly, quote, "These officers meant to help and not hurt Mr. Smith. The restraints were a reasonably necessary measure, and there's no evidence to substantiate a basis for criminal charges in this matter." The body camera video showed what happened that September night. Police say Smith was running around erratically and going into traffic. While waiting for a medical evaluation, officers restrained Smith using a rip-hobble device where his hands were tied to his legs. Shortly after being restrained, Smith became unresponsive. Officers tried to revive him, but he later died at the hospital. Police Chief Wayne Scott talked about it with us last night.
We want everyone to come home safely. Our citizens, our folks that are under arrest, and our police officers. But unfortunately, it doesn't always happen like that. What's important is that we analyze it and we do all we can to prevent it, to make ourselves safer, to do our job better and serve our community better at the end of it.
Throughout the investigation, Greensboro police maintained the officers acted within their training. But what might have seemed confusing is the autopsy listed Smith's cause of death as a homicide. In medical examiners' terms, that just means the death was not natural. The autopsy found Smith died from cardiac arrest due to restraint, drugs in his system, and an underlying medical condition. But again, the district attorney says the officers will not be charged in this case. We've tried to get in touch with Smith's family attorney. He has not gotten back to us. Chief Scott has made some procedural changes since this incident. We'll break that down tonight at 6 o'clock.